Now, when you look at the state of blockchain, you have over 1,000 networks that exist. They all have the same inherent problem, which is they can't scale liquidity. And if you don't have liquidity, you don't have apps building on you because you're not going to build apps on nothing. And then you don't have users, and then you don't have anything. And then you go die slowly. It's still a blockchain, it still needs assets to support itself. First, from a security perspective, because if you don't have enough TVL, especially if you're proof of stake, your way have higher chance of being exploited. Two, from a ecosystem perspective, nobody's going to build on a desert chain, if I want to call it, where there's nothing, right? So when the blockchain starts, you see crazy APRs, and so everybody shifts over to these chains, and this is what actually bridges have promoted. So if bridges have promoted this, it's just a cycle, or what we call zero sum game of moving assets from one chain onto the other all the time, until and liquidity providers basically drain out these rewards, and then when there's no more rewards to go, a new chain is hyped up, and then we just move there and just repeat the cycle. But for chains, sustainability of the ecosystem, users, everybody's losing, right? This is a huge problem. So this is first a problem that I've been working on for a while. And the question is, how do you solve this, right? There's no more users pouring in liquidity as much as these chains need to sustain themselves. So this is where Euclid comes in. And what we're trying to do is we're not trying to make liquidity better, make liquidity move better, which is what bridges do. What we want to do is build liquidity from scratch, which means that instead of having these assets stuck on one chain, what if they could communicate with all other chains to be able to swap anywhere, even if they exist on one layer, right? So we're detaching the concept of liquidity from the concept of execution layer, which might sound a little complex, but it's pretty easy when you think about it.